I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I coach people. I'm an executive job search, leadership coach. I coach job hunters throughout their search as well. And one thing is incredibly apparent, and that is the job market has a shortage of talented individuals. And for you as an employer trying to compete in a market like this, it's hard to attract talent. Why? Frankly, there are more jobs than available people. And if you're looking for skilled talent, I must tell you, it's even harder yet. Because even in the unskilled markets, there are shortages of qualified people who are willing to work. And that's the baseline in the unskilled market. They're willing to work and put in an effort. And for you, you're looking for actual qualifications, right? So I want you to understand the pool of people available to you is limited. And if you've seen any of my material from No BS hiring advice over the years, you know I've been pushing you to pick up the pace. But now the problem is your firm has a reputation. Don't believe me? Go to Glassdoor. There are people who've been complaining about your organization for years and how they conduct themselves. And that becomes problematic. Excuse me. Because once we're dealing in the search mode, once we're dealing with job hunters, they're going to sites like Glassdoor and elsewhere. They're finding through Google that there's adverse information about your organization and sometimes even the hiring manager. And it's going to come back and bite you. Now, step number one is really to start correcting this. And I'm not talking about just replying online and saying it's not true. I'm talking about actual real changes. And it starts off with really thinking about it from the candidate perspective. What do they care about? Well, I'm not telling you to not screen for skills. I want to be clear about that. You need people with particular requirements. But do you really need all of them? Probably not. Narrow it down in scope from the list of 32 different qualifications to the top 3, 5, whatever it is, instead of holding out for all of them. If you can wait that long, you don't need the person. So let's not kid ourselves. If you've got this big menu of choices, like, I was coaching one person last week, and she told me about the job description she was reading and had an incredible list of requirements. And I paused for a second and said, it's probably a more junior job than yours because senior people never have to contend with that, juniors do. And I'm just telling you, cut the crap. Bring it down to a core element. And if you're in HR, you've got to drive your hiring managers and get them to cut down the bull. I'm also going to tell you that in interview one for you in HR, take an extra couple of minutes and stop making it so transactional. I know you've got a very full schedule, but you're not going to close the jobs unless you take 5 extra minutes, answer their questions, tell them what the process is going to be like, and make it seem like they matter to you. That's not about facts. That's not about data. That's about the appearance of care. So I just want to encourage you, take a little bit of extra time and narrow down the requirements. I also want to encourage you to do something very simple. Pick up the pace. Seriously, pick up the pace. And I've been talking about this one for years. Firms take their sweet-ass time to interview, and then they wonder why their first choice is gone, and their second one, and sometimes their third through fifth, and it's your fault. You're taking your time. If they're good, move on them. Stop going out on more dates if you're really in love. And if you're not sure you're in love, let them go. Go on to someone else. Seriously, stop playing games because that's what you're doing. You're putting them on the back burner as though you're ever going to come back to them. Or you want to see if there's someone even better out there. Right now, there isn't. There's shortages. That's what you're dealing with. Lastly, and this one drives people nuts. You talk with them about their salary requirements. and then you offer them less and you wonder why they turn down offers. You've taken your time, you've done nothing to sell your opportunity to them. That's both in HR and with the hiring manager and team. You come in with a low offer and wonder why the job is turned down. It makes sense for them to do it. You've gotten them annoyed. You haven't fulfilled your part of the of the transaction, of the sales situation. You haven't made them feel valuable. And right now, they are. It will change. There'll be another recession, and you'll become the top dog again. But for right now, folks, you've got to do it differently if you want to bring on people. So I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I hope you found this helpful. If you have questions for me, it's real simple. Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Mention that you saw the video. I'd love to help you. I just like knowing that I've been helping some folks. And if you want me to coach you about the staffing process, if you'd like my advice about doing some things differently, message me that you're interested in coaching. I'd love to help. Obviously not for free. You want to get paid for your work, and obviously so do I. Lastly, I just wanted to mention I've got a lot of advice at my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. There's advice for you as an employer. There's advice for you as a job hunter. Go over and explore. I think you'll have a great time. Have a terrific day.